Guess who's back together and who's crossing the line on screen? Asia's BL world is going wild in 2025 with jaw-dropping chemistry, scandals, and dream reunions. From Thailand's hottest duo to Japan's breakout stars, these 10 couples aren't just acting love, they're redefining it. This isn't just another list, it's the year's biggest BL revelation. When it comes to the rising wave of Asian BL dramas in 2025, there's one duo that's stealing hearts across the continent. Choi Jae-hyuk and Yum Min-hyuk, the unstoppable pair from the Korean BL series Ballboy Tactics. If you haven't seen them yet, buckle up because this is not your typical love story. This is a game of passion, rivalry, and emotion that hits harder than any tennis serve you've ever witnessed. Set against the high-pressure world of a college tennis team, Ballboy Tactics isn't just about chasing trophies. It's about two men chasing something far deeper: connection, understanding, and maybe love. Jae-hyuk steps into the role of Kwon Jung-woo, a talented yet hot-headed athlete who's always played to win. Enter Han Ji-won, portrayed by Yum Min-hyuk, the quiet, calculating strategist who's just transferred to the team. From the moment they meet, the tension is electric. Jung-woo's intensity clashes with Ji-won's calm, and what starts as a fiery rivalry slowly turns into undeniable chemistry. What makes this pairing so addictive isn't just their looks, it's the way they act. Choi Jae-hyuk brings raw energy, that perfect mix of arrogance and vulnerability, while Yum Min-hyuk owns the screen with subtle expressions that say more than words ever could. Every glance, every pause, every accidental touch feels charged. The showrunners know exactly what they're doing, giving us that slow-burn emotional roller coaster fans live for. Unlike the soft, dreamy tone of most KBLs, Ballboy Tactics hits harder, faster, and deeper. It's fast-paced and emotional, wrapped in a story of competition and desire. And let's be honest, who doesn't love a little enemies-to-lovers tension mixed with sports drama heat? The cinematography captures every sweat drop, every slow-motion stare across the court. And when that first real moment between them finally happens, no spoilers, but get your heart ready. It's pure fire. This is also a huge milestone for Korean BL. For years, the BL scene in Korea struggled to break through the mainstream barrier. But with projects like Ballboy Tactics, it's finally happening. This isn't just niche content anymore. It's primetime-worthy storytelling with quality that rivals any K-drama. Both Jae-hyuk and Min-hyuk have become overnight sensations. Their names trending across X, formerly Twitter, and TikTok fan edits, hitting millions of views. And the best part? Their chemistry doesn't end when the cameras stop rolling. Behind-the-scenes clips show the two actors laughing, teasing, and supporting each other like real partners in crime. Fans have even dubbed them the Korean ace couple. Whether it's interviews, photo shoots, or red carpet appearances, they radiate that effortless comfort, the kind that can't be faked. For anyone following Asian BL, this duo is proof that storytelling in 2025 has leveled up. It's bold, unapologetic, and beautifully shot. Ballboy Tactics delivers what every BL fan craves: emotional depth, sizzling chemistry, and moments that make you hit replay again and again. Choi Jae-hyuk and Yum Min-hyuk aren't just actors. They're proof that courage can rewrite the rules. In their groundbreaking Korean BL project, they didn't just play lovers. They challenged prejudice and showed that love has no boundaries. Their on-screen chemistry turned whispers into applause, breaking through stereotypes one scene at a time. The lesson they leave behind? Love, no matter who it's between, deserves to be seen, respected, and celebrated. When you think about chemistry, that word Hollywood uses to describe something you can't quite explain, you're thinking about forced jarachapong and book kasadet. This isn't just a pairing, it's lightning in a bottle. From the very first teaser of Perfect 10-liners, fans knew they were witnessing something rare, something electric. By the time the series dropped, Forcebook weren't just actors. They were a cultural storm sweeping through Asia's BL fandom. Perfect 10-liners is set in the high-octane world of marketing and creativity, where two ambitious young professionals are forced to collaborate on a campaign that could make or break their futures. Force plays Ark, a confident strategist with a sharp tongue and a secret soft side. Book transforms into Arm, the genius copywriter who hides behind sarcasm and late-night playlists. On paper, they're opposites. In action, they're magnets. Every time they share the screen, it feels like the air gets a little thicker, a little slower, and you just know something's about to spark. But here's what makes Force and Book stand out among every other BL duo: authenticity. They don't act like they're performing romance, they live it. Every side glance, every unspoken pause, every argument laced with something unsaid feels brutally real. It's like watching two souls circle each other, cautious, curious, and completely unable to stay apart. While Perfect 10-liners gives us moments of humor and warmth, its real power lies in vulnerability. Force delivers an emotionally charged performance. His portrayal of ambition, fear, and hidden affection is magnetic. Book, on the other hand, doesn't chase the spotlight. He owns it through stillness, the kind of quiet acting that draws you in without trying. Together, they create a rhythm so natural that fans often forget they're watching fiction. This isn't the first time Force and Book have worked together, but 2025 feels like their breakthrough year. Their dynamic has matured, deeper, more grounded, and emotionally layered. The writers know what fans crave: slow burns, confessions whispered through trembling voices, and a payoff that hits like a thunderclap. And when it happens, that one look, that one touch, the entire internet stops breathing. Twitter explodes. TikTok edits rack up millions of loops overnight. Beyond the screen, Forcebook have mastered what few can: connection. They support each other in interviews, finish each other's sentences, and somehow make every fan interaction feel personal. Whether they're laughing during behind-the-scenes takes or sharing quiet eye contact at fan events, it's never forced, no pun intended. Their bond feels genuine, and that's what elevates them from actors to icons. Perfect 10-liners isn't just another Thai BL series, it's a reflection of how far the genre has evolved. It's stylish, emotional, and written with the confidence of creators who know the world is watching. GMMTV poured cinematic energy into every frame. The neon lighting, the sharp dialogue, the breathtaking score. And Forcebook, they turned it into art. So when people talk about the top 10 Asian BL couples of 2025, there's no skipping this duo. They're not just trending, they're transforming how BL is told. They've proven that romance doesn't have to scream to be powerful. Sometimes it's the quiet inhale, the shared heartbeat, the look that lingers 1 second too long. Force and Book are more than Thailand's golden boys. They're storytellers rewriting what love on screen can look like. They've built a legacy not through noise, but through truth. And that's why, in 2025, when fans around the world hit replay, it's not just for the plot, it's for them. Okay, let's be real. When Thailand announced it was producing Asan's Love, the BL fandom went crazy. Like, how could they do that? Meet the powerhouse duo that brought us Oxygen, and we have them to thank for it. Earth Pirapa and Mix Sahafap, or as the internet calls them, Earth Mix, the soft power kings of Thai BL. Asan's Love Thailand 2025 isn't your typical boy meets boy plays piano with emotion BL. Not at all. It's adult chaos mixed with office comedy, peppered with melting chemistry and just enough awkward flirting to make you scream into your pillow at 2 a.m. Earth plays Harun, a classic workaholic boss who can run a marketing empire but still can't flirt. Mix plays Momo, a lovable but chaotic subordinate who somehow turns every meeting into a romantic comedy. Imagine an HR nightmare, but make it gay, cinematic, and funded by coffee. From the very first episode, the energy between them is explosive. Mix brings the "I totally didn't mean to fall in love with you, boss, but here we are" vibe, while Earth brings the image of a man who's one heartbeat away from a real existential crisis. The result? Funnier, more tense, and more tender moments than your favorite enemies to lovers fanfic. This time, the writers have gone all-out romantic comedy. Think The Office meets Crazy Rich Asians, but with better lighting and much better-looking people. There are jokes, jealousy, emotional exchanges in the rain, and yes, a near kiss that's been replayed so many times online that it should be a YouTube royalty check. And let's talk about their acting. Earth has a subtle charisma, the kind where a single eyebrow raise can silence an entire fandom. Mix, on the other hand, is an emotional mess. He can go from goofy fun to heartbroken in a single frame, and somehow it all looks effortless. Together, they're unstoppable. The kind of couple who can turn even a simple good morning into a 2-minute TikTok video with sad indie music and 3 million likes. But what really makes Asan's Love Thailand special is its self-awareness. It doesn't take itself too seriously. One second you're laughing at Earth as he tries and fails to be the responsible adult in the room, and the next you're clutching your chest because Mix just blurted out something heartbreakingly honest. It's witty, touching, and surprisingly profound for a show that started with a love triangle and a spilled cup of coffee. In real life, Earth Mix is a marketing dream. Their interviews are chaos in the best way. Inside jokes, fake arguments, unintentional flirtations, and fans deciphering every glance as if it were a hidden message from the universe. They're funny, naturally charming, and yes, a little dangerous for your sanity. Asan's Love Thailand isn't just a remake, it's a reinvention. The series breathes new life into the BL genre, showing that love doesn't always need tragedy to feel powerful. It's playful, flirty, and emotionally rich, proof that joy can hit just as deep as heartbreak. With its perfect mix of humor, warmth, and irresistible chemistry, it's the kind of show that makes you grab your phone mid-episode to text your best friend, "You have to watch this right now." Because ultimately, Earth Mix doesn't just act out love, they embody love. And somewhere between the spilled coffee, the office gossip, and Mix's goofy smile for Earth mid-shot, you realize this isn't just BL. This is serotonin, bottled and delivered in 4K. Sometimes, love doesn't shout, it whispers. It moves quietly between the lines, in the glances that last half a second too long, in the words you almost say but don't. And that's exactly what makes Mao Qisheng and Chang Jiasheng from Exclusive Love 2025 one of the most beautiful BL pairings of the year. Not because they burn bright, but because they glow softly. While the world is busy swooning over loud confessions and dramatic kisses in the rain, Exclusive Love takes a different path. It's intimate, slow, and achingly human. Set in modern-day Taipei, the series follows Tang Tu-chi, played by Mao Cheng, a stoic architecture student who hides his loneliness behind perfect blueprints, and Wang Chen, a photography major who sees beauty in everything except himself. Their worlds collide not with fireworks, but with silence. A shared umbrella, a late-night bus ride, a camera click that lingers on a face too long. What makes this story unforgettable is how real it feels. There's no exaggerated melodrama, no sugar-coated fantasy. Just two young men learning how to exist, and then how to exist together. The cinematography embraces simplicity. Muted tones, quiet music, the hum of city rain. You can almost feel the humidity of Taipei, the smell of coffee shops where words hang in the air like unsent messages. Mao Qisheng is phenomenal here. His portrayal of Tu Chi feels like watching someone wake up, from self-doubt, from silence, from years of holding back. Chen Qisheng, as Wang Chan, balances him perfectly. All warmth and wonder. The kind of person who loves first and asks questions later. Their chemistry doesn't explode, it breathes. Every scene between them feels organic, like you're eavesdropping on something private, something sacred. And maybe that's the point. Exclusive love isn't trying to be your next viral sensation. It's not here to shock. It's here to remind us that love can be quiet and still change everything. That sometimes the loudest love stories are the ones spoken in whispers. Critics are already calling it the softest heartbreak of 2025. Not because it ends tragically, it doesn't, but because it leaves a mark that lingers long after the credits roll. It's a series that doesn't demand your attention. It earns it. The writing is subtle, the pacing deliberate, and the emotions devastatingly honest. Beyond the screen, both Mao and Chang have become overnight sensations in Taiwan's BL scene. They're not your typical, idol-looking duo, and that's what makes them revolutionary. They look like real people, with real insecurities and real smiles. During interviews, they often talk about how they rehearsed scenes by just talking. Not about lines, but about life. About loneliness. About what it means to love someone when you're still figuring out who you are. That connection shows. It's not performative, it's pure. What's beautiful about exclusive love is that it doesn't chase perfection. It celebrates imperfection. There's an honesty to its storytelling that feels almost rebellious in a genre often built on fantasy. Instead of, will they or won't they, it asks a deeper question. What happens when they do? In a year dominated by flashy, high-energy BL dramas, exclusive love stands like a quiet storm, subtle, elegant, and deeply moving. It doesn't need to scream to be heard. It just needs to exist. Because sometimes love isn't about grand gestures. It's about two people sitting side by side in the dark, knowing that even in silence, they're understood. You know that feeling when two actors meet on screen and the entire internet just stops breathing? Yeah, that's Muji Xu and Andrew Chin, the Taiwanese duo who've somehow managed to turn quiet glances and nervous laughter into one of the most magnetic BL pairings of 2025. Before Impression of Youth even premiered, their chemistry had already become its own brand. One behind-the-scenes clip, a simple rehearsal moment where Andrew adjusts Muji's mic, pulled millions of views in hours. Why? Because fans could feel it. The tension, the ease, the unscripted spark. It's that rare kind of connection that doesn't look rehearsed. It looks remembered. What makes this pair so fascinating is the contrast. Muji is stillness, all precision and quiet intensity. Andrew is motion, spontaneous, teasing, unpredictable. When they collide, something rare happens. It's not explosive, it's gravitational. They pull you in without trying. In every interview, you can see how naturally they balance each other. Muji speaks softly, thoughtful, and measured, while Andrew jumps in with humor that breaks the ice and then breaks your heart a little. There's this one press conference moment where Andrew joked, "Muji never laughs unless I'm around," and Muji, completely deadpan, just said, "That's because he's my problem and my peace." Then, internet, gone. They have that modern-day yin-yang energy, total opposites who somehow complete each other. And fans can't get enough. Edits flood TikTok, slow-mo touches, parallel shots, and those long eye contact moments that feel like whole conversations. Their fandom has exploded across Asia, dubbing them the Silent Storm. Because that's exactly what they are. Subtle, powerful, and impossible to ignore. And while Impression of Youth 2025 gave them the stage, it's their off-screen chemistry that turned them into icons. They're redefining what BL partnerships can look like. No forced fan service, no exaggerated romance, just two professionals who get each other, trust each other, and build a story that feels alive even when the cameras stop. The beautiful part? They're not afraid to be real. During a recent podcast, Andrew talked about how working with Muji taught him to slow down, to listen. Muji smiled and said, "He taught me how to exist in the moment." That's not a line. That's connection. Their rise also marks something bigger happening in Asian BL. A shift from fantasy toward authenticity. They've shown that intimacy doesn't have to scream, it can whisper. That love can be told through stillness. A shared look, a trembling hand, a laugh that turns into silence. Stylistically, they've become the face of a new kind of storytelling. Minimalist, emotional, and cinematic. You can see it in photo shoots, Muji in soft lighting, Andrew half smiling like he's holding a secret. It's artistry meets honesty. And fans? They're obsessed. Not just with the beauty of it, but with how real it feels. The Muji-Andrew effect is all over socials. Quotes from their interviews, edits synced to indie tracks, even fan letters turned into mini-films. They've built a fandom that doesn't just watch them, it feels with them. That's the magic of this pairing. They don't act like they're in love. They act like they've known each other forever and only just realized it. Their chemistry doesn't perform, it lingers. It's not about fireworks, it's about gravity. So when people talk about the top 10 Asian BL couples of 2025, Muji Shu and Andrew Chin are the emotional heartbeat of that list. They remind us that connection isn't loud, it's lasting. That sometimes the most powerful love stories don't come from the script, but from the spaces between the lines. In the end, maybe that's why we can't stop watching them. Because they don't just play lovers on screen. They play what it feels like to be seen. Some couples make you believe in destiny, others make you question it. And then there's Kim Ho-young and Cha Jung-woo, a BL pairing so dangerously magnetic, they don't need perfect lighting or flowery lines. One look, one breath, and the screen simply bends around them. They're the kind of duo that doesn't just act together, they orbit each other. Every scene, every frame feels like gravity at work, pulling them close, daring them to resist. And yet, they never overplay it. That's what makes them so intoxicating. They turn stillness into tension, silence into confession, eye contact into chaos. Fans first caught their spark in Secret Relationships 2025, a series wrapped in mystery, temptation, and blurred lines. But here's the thing. While the show gave them the stage, Ho-young and Jung-woo built the story themselves. The way they carry energy between them isn't scripted. It's instinct. It's like they've spent years in the same orbit and are only now realizing how close they've drifted. Ho-young has that effortless danger, the kind of presence that feels like a secret you shouldn't know but can't stop thinking about. He walks into a room and the temperature changes. He smiles, and you're not sure if it's comfort or warning. Jung-woo, on the other hand, is restraint personified, all clean lines, control, and subtle rebellion. He's the quiet in the storm, the reason you stay even when you know you shouldn't. Together, they redefine chemistry. It's not about sparks, it's about voltage. And what's wild is that off-screen, they're nothing alike. Ho-young is loud, charming, always half a joke away from chaos. Jung-woo is calm, articulate, a thinker who measures every word. Yet when they meet in interviews, you can see the current flicker. It's that subtle shoulder lean, that laugh that lingers a second too long, that look like, don't start something we can't finish. Their fans, and there are millions of them now, have turned every interaction into legend. Hashtags like Hoo-woo or Silent Heat trend weekly. One viral fan edit, just 20 seconds of behind-the-scenes footage where Ho-young brushes a speck off Jungwoo's sleeve, hit 5 million views overnight. Because that's all it takes. With them, the tiniest movement feels monumental. What separates this duo from every other BL pairing of 2025 is the aura. They don't radiate innocence or playful charm. They radiate danger, that mature, cinematic kind of tension that belongs in dimly lit rooms and whispered confessions. Watching them feels less like fandom and more like voyeurism, like seeing two souls circling a line they're not supposed to cross and knowing they will anyway. In secret relationships, their dynamic becomes a game of emotional chess. Desire versus denial, trust versus betrayal. But honestly, the real magic happens between the lines. The way Jungwoo looks at Ho-young like he's trying to remember who started the fire, and the way Ho-young looks back like he's already burned. It's not love at first sight, it's recognition. Like they've lived this before, and this time, they're daring fate to change the ending. The beauty of Kim Ho-young and Cha Jung-woo is that they don't chase the fairy tale, they chase truth. And that truth is messy, intoxicating, and painfully human. It's not about being cute or perfect, it's about being real in a way that hurts. They've turned emotional volatility into art, showing that BL can be as sharp, raw, and cinematic as any high-end drama. They're not the sunshine boys, not the dreamers, not the accidental lovers. They're the gravity couple. Dark, magnetic, unforgettable. They don't give you butterflies. They give you chills. Because sometimes love doesn't heal. Sometimes it haunts. And if you've ever watched Kim Ho-young and Cha Jung-woo lock eyes on screen, you know, some chemistry doesn't fade when the cameras stop. It follows you all the way into the dark. From the moment these two showed up together, the fandom didn't just notice. It detonated. Their chaos in perfect sync. The kind of duo that turns an interview into a comedy show and a 5-second glance into a viral moment. In Perfect 10-liners, 2024-25, they took that same unfiltered energy and turned it into magic. Here's the thing about Perth and Santa. They're not trying to be romantic, they just are. Every interaction feels like a dare. They tease, they bicker, they laugh like they've been doing this for years. Perth throws out a sarcastic line, Santa fires one back twice as fast, and suddenly everyone watching is like, wait, are they flirting or fighting? The answer? Both. Always both. Their chemistry isn't the soft focus kind, it's kinetic, loud, unstoppable. Perth brings that effortless confidence, the kind of energy that fills a room before he even walks in. Santa is the wild card, charming, unpredictable, with a smile that could start a revolution. Together, they're the definition of beautiful chaos. In Perfect 10-liners, they play rival marketing creatives forced to work on the same campaign, classic enemies to something way more than friends setup. But what should have been rivalry turns into this ridiculous, undeniable connection. It's like watching two planets collide in slow motion, all tension, color, and laughter. You can practically hear the fandom screaming through the screen. Off-screen, though, that's where the legend was born. Interviews, live streams, red carpet appearances, these two are a show. Perth has this habit of acting cool until Santa does literally anything, and then he breaks into that grin that says, I lost this round. Santa, meanwhile, treats Perth like his favorite target. Every answer a tease, every joke a challenge. It's friendship, it's flirting, it's a love language made entirely out of chaos. And fans eat it up. TikTok edits, Twitter threads. Compilation videos titled Perth plus Santa being a menace to each other for 10 minutes straight. Millions of views. Because it's not just chemistry, it's connection. They make people feel like they're in on the joke, like love can be fun again. What's refreshing about them is how unpolished it all feels. No overly serious monologues, no dramatic lighting, just two guys who seem to genuinely enjoy each other's company and accidentally make half the world fall for them in the process. They're proof that authenticity is the new romance. But here's the twist. Underneath all the jokes and chaos, there's real warmth. A scene in perfect 10-liners where their characters finally drop the banter and just talk is one of the most replayed moments of the year. Perth's usual smirk fades. Santa's voice softens. It's still them. Just quieter, realer. That's when you realize the comedy was just the camouflage. What they have is something solid. Friendship turned electricity, turned something no one has the right word for yet. And that's what makes them stand out in 2025. While other BL couples aim for cinematic perfection, Perth and Santa remind us that chemistry isn't about polish, it's about presence. It's the way laughter turns into silence, the way teasing becomes tenderness, the way everyone watching suddenly believes, yeah, this could be real. There are BL couples who make you smile, and then there are BL couples who make you remember. Kim Jun-seo and Cha Sun-hyun belong to the second kind, the kind that doesn't just act love, they haunt it. Their pairing in Secret Relationships 2025 hit the BL scene like a slow-burn wildfire, quiet at first, then unstoppable. No flashy gestures, no viral fan service. Just tension so thick you could hear hearts breaking through the silence. They're not the kind of duo that makes you believe in fairy tales. They're the kind that makes you believe in consequences. Jun-seo brings this effortless vulnerability, the kind that hides behind politeness, where every smile feels like a cover for something deeper. Sun-hyun, on the other hand, radiates quiet power. He's the storm that doesn't need thunder to make you afraid. When they share a frame, it's like light meeting shadow, not opposites, complements. Two forces that shouldn't fit, but somehow do. Their chemistry isn't loud, it's loaded. Every glance feels like a confession. Every silence feels like a question neither of them dares to ask. It's that rare kind of tension that doesn't scream attraction. It aches with it. In Secret Relationships, their story revolves around loyalty, guilt, and everything unsaid. Jun-seo's character, Da-on, is a man trapped between duty and desire. Sun-hyun Song-hyun is the temptation he can't name, the truth he's too scared to face. It's not about who says I love you first, it's about who can't. What makes them mesmerizing is the subtlety. They don't need dramatic declarations, they weaponize restraint. One scene, a quiet car ride, a lingering touch on a wrist says more than a dozen romantic speeches ever could. You feel the air crackle with everything they're not saying. Off-screen, they're just as fascinating. Jun-seo is the heart, warm, thoughtful, always laughing at his own jokes. Sun-hyun is the gravity, calm, observant, with that steady gaze that feels like he's reading your mind. When they're together in interviews, it's like watching comfort and chaos find balance. Jun-seo teases, Sun-hyun rolls his eyes, and somehow, you're smiling like it's your own inside joke. Their fans, have turned subtlety into obsession. Edits of their quietest moments rack up millions of views. Hands brushing, a shared umbrella, a look that lasts too long. They're proof that chemistry doesn't need volume. It just needs honesty. And maybe that's why they've become one of the most beloved BL duos of 25. Because they remind people that love isn't always loud or perfect or easy. Sometimes it's complicated, sometimes it hurts, sometimes it's just two people trying to meet each other halfway and realizing they're both still learning how to walk. In one behind-the-scenes clip, Jun-seo turns to Sun-hyun after filming a particularly emotional scene and says softly, "You make it easy to feel real." Sunung just smiles, small genuine, and replies, "That's because you don't fake it." It's unscripted, raw, and suddenly you realize that the line between acting and feeling has completely disappeared. They're not just another BL pairing, they're an emotion study. Every interaction a lesson in restraint, vulnerability, and timing. They make love look like something that exists quietly, beneath words, beneath rules, beneath reason. It's about the kind of connection that doesn't fade when the lights go out. It stays, lingering like a song you can't stop humming long after it ends. BL 2025 is not just a genre, it's a revolution, and you're witnessing it happen right before your eyes. Thanks for watching.